What's up, everyone? George Leeman here with MuscleMasters.com. Last few videos I put up were obviously of me competing. Haven't really done any talking yet. Wanted to talk to you guys about the meet. Obviously, really happy with that shit for both me and Tessa. Tessa fucking killed it. She did 400-pound squat, or give or take, you know what I mean, a couple pounds. 397 squat, 446 deadlift, and benched 159 pounds like ridiculously easily. Now that she knows she's, you know, better at benching than she had thought, I think we're gonna get her up to 200 pounds pretty fast. But I'm pretty sure that the heaviest total for a junior in her weight class is like 1,060 or something like that. I'm not even like completely sure, to be honest with you. That might be like across all of America or some shit, or I don't know. I gotta find out more about the records. Maybe somebody else knows and could tell me. But Tessa's getting right up there with some of the strongest powerlifters around, which is super slick. And obviously, I just became one of however many people in the world that have ever deadlifted 900 pounds. Was it like less than 15 or something like that in competition? As far as the competition went, it was really fun. The people were super cool. I liked the atmosphere a lot. Pretty comfortable overall with everything that went on there. You know, nobody was rude or anything like that. Really cool place to hang out. There were a few things I did very wrong. For example, I showed up at 8 in the morning when I had to compete at more like 5. In fact, they were going to have me compete more at like 7 or 8, it seems like. And so I kind of sat around all day like feeling like physically ill and shit. I thought I was going out to compete at 12 that day. I'm not really sure why I thought that. I think someone told me that. But I was off by about 5 hours, and that kind of sucked. So anyway, I ended up getting pretty dehydrated, and I ended up being very tired. I ended up taking a nap and stuff like that while I was actually there. Ended up like sleeping in a booth for a little bit with my girlfriend. Basically, not an ideal circumstance in terms of sleep or sitting around or being dehydrated. What did end up happening though was I ended up taking 2 scoops of a pre-workout that I already don't really like in the first place, mixed with watermelon citrus Gatorade, which tastes like fucking garbage. And I emptied some supplement capsules into the Gatorade and stuff like that. So being on an empty stomach, I became like extremely physically ill within about 5 minutes of taking the pre-workout supplement. And I had about 15 minutes to warm up 15 to 20 minutes to warm up from the bar to, you know, 765. And then a few minutes later, I was deadlifting, you know, 909 pounds. I timed the warm-ups wrong is more or less what I'm saying. I wish I would have started warming up a little bit earlier, and I wish I wouldn't have taken a pre-workout that made me sick. So essentially, I'd been there all day, was very tired, became dehydrated, started to cramp up, wasn't really able to eat because I was sick, and then I had a very short period of time to warm up while feeling very violently ill, like extremely ill. It turned out that the warm-ups were actually outside, which everyone that had been warming up on squats and bench in the building, but the warm-ups for deadlifts were actually outside, and I live in Florida, and it was pretty hot, you know, like you wouldn't want to spend a lot of time outside because you start sweating, which was pretty worrying, because I don't need my hands sweating if I'm trying to hold on to 900 pounds. So that threw me off ever so slightly, and obviously the fact that the weights were outside. Usually concrete is not completely flat. It's real close to being completely flat, but there's always a little bit of a dip or something like that. So warming up, I actually had the bar rolling around a little bit. I wasn't able to get in the right position. Essentially a very slight hill with very hot temperatures, if that makes any sense. And a very short period of time to warm up while being dehydrated, while being tired, after having sat around for 6, 7, you know, hours or something like that. Basically, I feel I could have done much better than I did. I think right now I can deadlift somewhere around 950 with straps. My lift with 909 was a little slower than I would have liked, because it moved in my hand, and when it moved in my hand, the skin tore. Now, anytime a weight moves in your hand, you're not gripping it as tight as you were. And if you're not gripping a weight as tight as you were, it's easier to come out of your hand. You can drop it much easier. And typically what our bodies will do, rather than drop a weight, it will stop exerting max force on it. You can apply much more force to a weight attached to a strap than you could attach to your hand, just because there's no give in the strap. There's give in your hand. And my hand definitely had some give, hence the tearing. Overall, could not be happier. I've never been so fucking sick in my entire life leading up to that meet, just mentally and physically. I wanted 909 so badly that I almost didn't want to face how badly I wanted it. I've wanted to do something like this, to be some record holder, something in powerlifting since I was 15 years old. It felt like it came down to the difference between being the person I always wanted to be and possibly never being the person I wanted to be, which is a very scary concept for someone who's worked for, 9 or 10 years towards a goal with more or less everything they have inside of them. I mean, I weigh 350 pounds. I've made tons of sacrifices and gone through lots of shit to get this strong. So to come down to one lift, to come down to one pull, not even an opener below 900 pounds where I could get in something, but to come down to either bombing out of a meet or being the person that I've always wanted to be was a pretty incredible feeling. I really can't describe it. Leading up to it, I knew I wanted it so badly. I knew it was so important to me that I didn't want to face how badly I actually wanted it, because it was crippling. To want something that bad, and to know that if you miss it, you may never do it again. This may be your only chance ever at being the person you wanted to be. There isn't necessarily next year or next time. You can get hurt any day, and it can end your ability to do anything, anytime. There's always a huge risk. I remember driving to or having my girlfriend drive actually to the meet, and just thinking, man, I wish I could make up some excuse to not do this. I wish I could, figure out some way that I didn't have to go and do this lift, because to try and fail at something you want that badly is such a soul-crushing thing. It's such a horrible idea that today is going to be the day where you went after something you wanted with all of your heart and had the possibility of failing, and had the possibility of never being what you literally always wanted to be. When I was growing up, when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, the numbers I wanted to lift in competition, to me, gave me purpose in life. I could have died after hitting those numbers and been someone. That's what these numbers mean to me. They made me something from nothing. And it's just, I remember thinking to myself, it's like, maybe I'll just crash my car and that'll be a good excuse, or not trying, or maybe I'll just hopefully I'll tear the shit out of my hamstring or something while warming up, and then I'll have an excuse for failing. And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, this is the worst feeling in the world, to want something this badly and know that you could fail. Know that it might not happen, and I have to deal with that all the way up to it. And then I thought to myself, but if I don't try, it's already a failure. If I don't try, I'll always look back at this time and think, that was the time I could have been the person I always wanted to be, and I failed myself. And it was the most incredible feeling in the world to actually do it. I can't even describe what it felt like, but it's taken a few days to even process it slightly. There was a few hours there where I was pretty sure that it couldn't be real, that I must have fallen and hit my head at some point, and I must be dreaming, that it was somehow accidentally not 900 pounds, that someone messed up. It's so hard to believe that I could have what I always wanted. How could I have the strongest, raw and competition deadlift ever in America? How could that be me? I don't really know how else to describe how I feel about that, but it meant literally everything to me to do that. I've never wanted anything so bad in my entire life. All the weeks and the months and the years and the things I thought about and the things that I went through and that I used to help me lift more weight. When I would go after these lifts and I'd think of my little brother, I'd think of something that happened to me. If I couldn't get that weight, it almost seemed like failing other people. I had a good amount of friends and people come out to support me and stuff, and I remembered I don't mind missing the lift just so much as I didn't want to let other people down who believed in me and came out to support me. I had a friend of mine that I've been lifting with for years who's always supported my training come out, and another friend of mine who it was his birthday. I didn't even know it was his birthday, but he chose to come out and sit and watch my meet for hours on his birthday. And that was the most important thing, was that I didn't have them come out for no reason. Still taking a while to set in, but I'm pretty much more motivated than ever to do well. I have a lot of ideas for videos and articles and programs and stuff I want to work on for other people, and I feel like a little kid again. I feel like a kid again that wants to, you know, Google search shit and research and put together programs and diets and just make incredible progress and do beast mode shit. I haven't been so motivated in years, and I'm the strongest I've ever been right now. So as long as everything goes properly, I'll continue to make progress. I'm probably going to put up maybe one more video, maybe about this, covering some other stuff, maybe talking about my training leading up into the meet. I'll make a training video leading up into the meet, what I learned, how I did it, what the weights were and all that kind of stuff, what my assistance work was, how my training has changed now compared to what it used to be because the weights are heavier, etc. And you guys can stay tuned for that. As always, guys, thank you so much for your support. I love all of you. You guys make my life fucking amazing, and I wouldn't be able to do any of the things that I do today if not for you guys giving half of a fuck about it. So thanks again, everyone. Don't forget to check out musclemasochist.com if you want to work with me as a coach, take advantage of any of the, you know, sales we got going on over there. I mean, I'm going to be pumping out some programs and stuff for myself, so I'm looking to update even my own methods. I'm coming out with some new ab training methods. I learned some new stuff about training abs this last time deadlifting, and I have to say my core feels stronger than ever. So I'm going to incorporate some new stuff with my clients and see if we can't get some crazy results. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, like, share, and yeah, speechless, lost for words.